Today we're doing a lesson on loci. When you're doing loci, you'll need a pencil, a ruler, and a compass. And when you set your compass up, before you go any further, make sure that the tip of your compass and the tip of your pencil are in the same place. If they don't do that, you'll find today's lesson very hard. Okay, so this question says, a ball lands 3 meters away from a golf hole. Where could the ball have landed? Use the scale 1 meter equals 1 centimeter. Now, if it lands 3 meters away, on my drawing, it's got to be 3 centimeters away. So, where could it have landed? Well, if I get my ruler and I look at the hole, which is that bit there, and I put 0 on that hole, it could have landed there, because that's 3 centimeters away. But it could have landed 3 centimeters in the opposite direction away. It could have landed 3 centimeters down here. And the more that we go through this process, I'm hoping you're starting to realise we're just going around that golf hole. So if I get my compass and I put the point on 3 and the pencil on 0, I then put the point on the golf hole and I draw a circle. Now the best way to do this, if I move the camera quickly, I might put it down by here, I put the point on the hole and I actually move the paper like that, and it makes it much easier to draw a circle. So hopefully now when you see it, it'll be much neater than I would have drawn with trying to hold it by the top. I always find I mess up my circles doing that otherwise. Okay then, so everywhere on the circle is exactly 3 centimeters away from that hole there. Everything inside the circle is within 3 meters. So this point here was within 3 meters, this point here is within 3 meters, But this one here, because it's on the line, is exactly 3 meters away, and everything outside here would be outside 3 meters. So let's call this the region within. Okay, whereas this would be outside. Now the sort of questions we tend to see at GCSE, it says stuff like, shade the region that is within 4 centimeters of the point B. So you'd open your compass to 4 centimeters, put the point on B and draw a circle around it. One of the other questions that tends to come up a lot at GCSE is to show the points that are equidistant from both A and B. Now, equidistant means equal distance. Now, the way that you do that is not the following. You don't get your ruler, measure it to 7 centimeters and say, oh, 3.5 centimeters and draw it that way. You're actually going to use your compass. And the way that you do it is you open your compass to just more than halfway. Now, if I use the ruler and I measure it as 7, I've got to be more than halfway, so more than 3.5. So 4 centimeters would be quite a good number here. Okay, but it has to be, as long as it's more than halfway, it's fine. But if you do it way more than halfway, it'll be very hard to do the next bit. So, you put your compass on point B, and you draw a semicircle at B. So again, just moving the paper makes it a lot easier. I now keep my compass at exactly the same width and put it over on A, and draw a semicircle around A. Like that. Okay, so I have 2 overlapping semicircles. What I do now is I draw a line through the intersections. And you come over that line. Okay then, everywhere on that bold line that I've just drawn is equidistant to A and B. For instance, that bit there is right in the middle, equidistant meaning equal distance from A and B. So that bit there is in the middle. But this bit here, if you measure 2A and measure 2B, hopefully you can see they would be the same size. And the same up here, same length there to the same length there. All the same down here as well. Okay, question 3. It says, the points that are equidistant from AB and BC. So AB is this line here. BC is this line here. Where these two meet and the letter that is in both is at B, which is an angle. Now the way that you do that, you open your compass to a little bit, around about 3 centimeters. You don't need to measure. And then you put it on B and you draw an arc that goes through both lines. Make a mark where it crosses the line. There and there. You put your point on where it crosses on the first line, keeping your compass at exactly the same width, and you draw an arc just inside the angle. There. And now move your compass over, put it on the other mark, and draw just inside the angle there. where they cross, you highlight and put that through your ruler along with where the lines meet, there. And then hopefully your pencil breaks like that, and you get another pencil, and you can draw a straight line. So lining both those up, there and there. Everywhere on this line should be identical distance, should be equal distance to the line AB as it would be to BC. So that distance there should be the same as that distance there. Okay, let's have a look at the sort of questions that come up at GCSE. It says, shade the region that satisfies both of the following conditions. The points that are less than 7 centimetres from X. So that is going to be drawing a circle of 7 centimetres from X, and it's got to be less than that, so everything inside the circle. The next thing it says is the points that are nearer to Y than to X. So to do the points that are nearer to Y than to X, I need to cut that line exactly in half, and everything to the left would be nearer to X, and everything to the right would be nearer to Y. So I've got a new pencil to put into my compass after that last one snapped, and I will line up again the point and the nib of the pencil like that, and tighten my compass so it doesn't move. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is measure how long that line is, just so I've got some idea. Okay, so it's just over 10 centimetres. Now, the first point said 7 centimetres from X. So I'm going to open my compass to 7 centimetres there, and to the 0 there. Okay? I'm then going to draw a circle of 7 centimetres around X. So again, I'm going to move the paper. You can see that it's not going to draw by here, that's fine. And I'm actually going to go through a bit of the question here. That really isn't a problem, just do it faintly, and that's fine. Okay, so far, all of those points on the line here are exactly 7 centimetres, and all the points within the circle are within 7 centimetres. But it also says the points that are nearer to Y than to X. Now, this line is clearly more than halfway through the line. So keeping my compass at exactly the same width, I put the point down to Y now, and I draw a semicircle from Y so that the lines cross over as so. So I make a mark by here and a mark by here, and I draw a straight line through the pair of them. Okay, now everything on that line is equal distance from X and from Y. I wanted the points that are nearer to Y than to X, so that must be everything this side of the line. So I've identified what they are, but I'm also to get the points that are less than 7 centimetres from X. So that would be everything within the circle here. So the area that satisfies both of those is just this bit here. And then you shade that to make it nice and obvious about which point you are choosing to represent the region. Okay? Okay, next question. Okay, it says find and shade the regions inside the triangle ABC that satisfy both of the following conditions. The points that are nearer to BC than to AB, so BC is this line here, AB is this line here. So that is going to be cutting the angle in half, and it says the points that are less than 5 centimetres from B. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my compass open to a little bit. So about 3 centimetres is the rule I use, but as you can see I'm not even measuring. If I did measure, just if you wanted to know, yeah, about 3 centimetres, yeah. Okay, so you look at the line, it says BC, so that's this line here, AB, that's this line here, and they both meet at this point here, but there's a hint here. Look, B is in both of those, so that is the angle you want to bisect. So I put the compass on B, and I draw an arc there. Oh, careful. Okay, so I draw an arc there, I'll have to make sure it crosses both lines, so I've managed to budge it there in a second. Okay, so I cross, or I mark where it crosses the line there, and there. I now put the compass on here and I'm going to draw an arc inside the angle, so here, then over to this point here, and then inside there. Okay? Now it doesn't have to be a full arc as long as the two arcs cross over or intersect. So that's this point here, and then I draw a line through there and through the angle. Now don't just stop when you get to there, stop at the end of the triangle, but if you wanted to, you could go all the way to the edge of the question. It really doesn't matter. Okay? Now everywhere on that line is the same distance to AB as it is to BC. I wanted the points that were nearer to BC. So BC was this line here, so it's everything this side of the line. I also wanted the points that were less than 5 centimetres from B. So I'm going to get my ruler, I'm going to get my compass, and I'm going to open it to 5 centimetres. So point on 5, pencil on 0, and I'm going to draw a circle of 5 centimetres around B, because it said from B. Now I'm going to stop there, but I could go through the question if I wanted to. In fact, I could go all the way around on this one. But I'm only interested in the region inside the triangle. That's what it said. But here it said inside the triangle. Okay? So it said the points that are less than 5 centimetres from B. So that's everything inside the circle. So the bit I'm to shade is below the line here, but within the circle. So that would be this bit by here. Okay? Next question. It says, find and shade the region, again, inside the triangle ABC that satisfies both of the following conditions. The points nearer to AC than to AB, the points greater than 5 centimetres from A. So AC is this line here, and then AB is this line here. If you see the letters there twice, it's A. That means I'm going to bisect angle A. I'm going to do that thing where I open my compass to about 3 centimetres and then do my mark at A. Okay, so that'll be at this one here. And then it says the points that are greater than 5 centimetres from A. So very similar to the question we've just done. Okay, so I'm going to get my compass to about 3 centimetres, and I'm going to draw an arc by there. I'm going to mark where it crosses the triangle, so there and by there. And I'm going to draw an arc just inside the triangle, there, and again, there. Okay? It's much easier to move the paper to help you do this question. Then I mark where they cross, and I line A up here, where it goes through that mark, there. And I draw a line again. I can go all the way to the edge of the paper. It's a little bit of overkill, so I'm only interested inside the triangle, but I can do if I want. And it says the points are nearer to AC than to AB. So AC is this bottom line. I want all these points because they're nearer to AC than to AB. Everywhere on the line is the same distance from AB to AC. It also says the points that are greater than 5 centimetres from A. So again, ruler, compass, point on 5, pencil on 0, or the other way around. And then I'm going to move the paper to make it easier again. And then from A means I draw a circle of 5 centimetres from A, but make sure it's a proper circle, not what I just started to do then. So like that. There we go. Okay. Now everywhere on the circle is exactly 5 centimetres. Everywhere inside is within 5 centimetres, but I want greater than 5 centimetres from A. So I actually want everything outside of the circle. So under the line, outside of the circle, would be this bit here. Okay, and that shading would be absolutely fine to get you the marks. Okay, last page. Again, very similar to something we've already seen. It says, shade the region that satisfies both of the following conditions. The points that are less than 4.5 centimetres from A, so that's going to be drawing the circle at 4.5 centimetres, and the points that are nearer to B than to A. So, the points that are nearer to B than to A means I need to bisect the line, identify the points at the same distance from both, and then choose a side closer to B. So, I'm going to measure the line. I'm measuring it to 8 centimetres. I'm going to open my compass to more than half of that, so more than half of 8 centimetres would be 5 centimetres. So I'm going to do it at 5 centimetres, there's nothing stopping you doing it at 6 or 7. You draw a semicircle. Just going to try and let you see what I'm doing. Draw a semicircle at A. so there, and then a semicircle at B, there. Okay, now I made sure that I kept my, my compass width exactly the same in both, I didn't change it. Mark where the two arcs cross, ruler goes through both of those points, but remember to extend through there, don't stop at those points. Everywhere on this line is exactly the same distance to A and to B. I wanted the points that are nearer to B than to A, so the points that are nearer to B than to A is everything this side of the line. Now I also want the points that are 4.5 centimetres from A. So now I need to get my ruler and I need to measure 4.5 centimetres. So there's 0, point on 0, 4.5 would be by there. And it's from A, so I need to get my compass at A. I'm going to put it like that to make it easier for me to draw. And then draw a circle there. Okay, now what I could have done to make things a bit easier is I could have spotted that 4.5 was longer than the 4 centimetres which would have been in the middle anyway, and then just drawn that circle there and there like I did in the first question. But it's this circle here and it wants it to be less than 4 centimetres, so it's everything within this circle. So following that line there, so it'd be this one here, and I just shade that area. Okay.